There is a Tosfos in Maseches Pesachim in which they address the following problem. There appear to be two conflicting Gemaras. One Gemara, the Gemara in Pesachim, which Tosfos is addressing directly on Daf Kufya Daled, Amud Aleph, says that there was a machlokas between Beis Shammai and Beis Hillel, and a Bas Kol, a heavenly voice, emerged and announced that the halacha should follow Beis Hillel. So, the main opinion of the Chachamim is to follow that Bas Kol, and therefore we always follow Beis Hillel and not Beis Shammai as a general rule. But there's another opinion of Rabbi Yehoshua who says we don't listen to a Bas Kol. That's what the Gemara says in Pesachim. There's another Gemara in Bava Metzia which says that when the Chachamim and Rebbe Eliezer were having an argument, a Bas Kol came and said that the halacha should follow Rebbe Eliezer, and Rabbi Yehoshua said we don't listen to a Bas Kol. And the Chachamim, in fact, did not accept the opinion of Rebbe Eliezer, and his view was rejected. The question that Tosfos asks, as you can see here, is going on the line of the Gemara Pesachim, which says, Da'amar ein mashkichim b'Bas Kol. Rabbi Yehoshua is of the opinion that we do not listen to a Bas Kol. So Tosfos asks a question, V'im tomar, ma'ishna de kaimelon kabas kol de Beis Hillel, v'lo kaimelon kabas kol de Rebbe Eliezer. Why is it that the Chachamim do subscribe to the announcement of the Bas Kol, the heavenly voice, which says that we should follow Beis Hillel as opposed to Beis Shammai, versus in the story with Rebbe Eliezer, the Bas Kol, which supported his view, was rejected by the Chachamim. Make up your mind. Do you listen to a Bas Kol or do you not? The Chachamim seem to listen to a Bas Kol to obey Beis Hillel and reject Beis Shammai, but when the Bas Kol supported Rebbe Eliezer, the Chachamim did not accept the Bas Kol. So which one is it? And this is the question that's bothering Tosfos. So Tosfos writes, "V'yesh lomar dehacha Beis Hillel havu ruba, ela de Beis Shammai mechaded itfei." There's a difference between the two cases. That in the case of Beis Shammai and Beis Hillel, the reason why we follow the Bas Kol is because anyway Beis Hillel was the majority, and the halacha is that you should follow the majority. So we do follow the Bas Kol when they tell us to follow Beis Hillel. Now, why do you even need a Bas Kol is the fact that Beis Shammai were smarter or sharper, so therefore you might think that since Beis Shammai is more quality and sharper scholars, so you should follow them. The Bas Kol says, no, here too you follow the majority. So the halacha says follow the majority, and the Bas Kol is coming to confirm that. That's the case in the Gemara Pesachim. Aval hasam de Bas Kol haya keneged rabim lo kaim lan hachi. In the Gemara Bava Metzia, where the Bas Kol came only to support the Das Yachid against the Rabbim. So when a Bas Kol is telling you to go against the Rabbim, so we know the law is to follow the Rabbim, to follow the majority. And that's why the Chachamim do not listen to the Bas Kol, which supported Rebbe Eliezer. Well, the question then is obvious. If the Bas Kol was supporting Rebbe Eliezer and we're not supposed to listen to it, so then why did the Bas Kol make the announcement to follow Rebbe Eliezer? So on that, Tosfos answers, Ubas Kol lo yatzda ela lekavodo. The reason why the Bas Kol came is not that we should listen to it, because it was against the majority. The reason why the Bas Kol made the announcement is because Rebbe Eliezer was asking for a proof to support his side, and Min HaShamayim, they showed a deference to his opinion, even though Ein Halacha Kamoso, but the Bas Kol came to support, not that we should follow it, but it's just as a deference to his opinion of this great scholar, Rebbe Eliezer. Kidika Amrinan Hasam Min HaShamayim Yochichu. It was Rebbe Eliezer over there who was beckoning and asking and making a request from Hashem, from the heavens, that there should be a proof to his view. So that's why the Bas Kol came out. Now, a follow-up question after resolving what we have so far is that we don't listen to a Bas Kol when it's against the halacha, that it's following a minority opinion, but we do listen to a Bas Kol when it's following the majority. So the question now arises, V'im tamar im kain heichi ka'amar Rabbi Yoshua hi, ha Rabbi Yoshua kai a Bas Kol de Rebbe Eliezer. The Gemara in Pesachim says that why do you need someone to teach us that the halacha is like Beis Hillel? There was already a Bas Kol that says halacha is like Beis Hillel. So one of the answers the Gemara says is that it was before the Bas Kol emerged. And the other answer the Gemara says is that we're following the opinion of Rabbi Yehoshua, who doesn't subscribe to Bas Kol. He doesn't listen to a Bas Kol. He ignores the Bas Kol. So Tosfos is asking a question that, given that Tosfos has just made a distinction between a Bas Kol that tells you to follow the minority you don't listen to, and a Bas Kol which tells you to follow the majority you do listen to. So if Rebbe Yoshua, who appears in the story of Rebbe Eliezer, who told us, Lo b'shamayim, don't listen to the Bas Kol when it tells you to follow Rebbe Eliezer, maybe he only rejects a Bas Kol which tells you to follow the minority. But a Bas Kol which is telling you to follow the majority, who says that Rebbe Yehoshua would ignore such a Bas Kol? Maybe he would listen to it. So how can the Gemara say that the opinion which we're going in, that the Bas Kol was needed to corroborate the opinion of Beis Hillel, is Rebbe Yehoshua? Rebbe Yehoshua only said we don't listen to a Bas Kol in a case where it was supporting the minority, but maybe in the case of the majority, Rebbe Yehoshua himself would agree that we should follow the Bas Kol. So what's the answer to that? The Gemara assumes that Rebbe Yehoshua himself also would not listen to a Bas Kol, even when it's supporting and announcing and advocating the opinion of the majority. That's the question that Tosfos is bothered by now. And he answers, V'yesh lomar midika'ama ein mashgichin b'Bas Kol mishum delo b'shamayim mashma debekol duchta leislan lemezel basar Bas Kol. It's inferred from the language of Rabbi Yehoshua that he never listens to a Bas Kol. In other words, it's true that he said, don't listen to the Bas Kol in a circumstance where it happened to be supporting the minority. So even the Chachamim wouldn't listen to that Bas Kol. The Chachamim only listen to a Bas Kol which is following the majority, not the minority. But Rabbi Yehoshua himself, since he says a blanket statement, like a klal, a rule universally, ein mashgichin b'Bas Kol, we don't listen to a Bas Kol. So that language indicates and it connotes that we don't listen to a Bas Kol not only when it's supporting the minority, but even when it would theoretically be supporting the majority, like the example here, when the Bas Kol supports Beis Hillel.